have a movie which you just review sometimes and you think to yourself, I'm reviewing a movie that I never thought I would ever review. Like, I can't believe that this movie actually exists. This is that movie. Justice League is finally a movie. I can actually go around telling people that Justice League is a live action movie that I saw. I waited pretty much my entire life for this movie, about 16 years at least. I was really pumped to see this film. Ever since I saw the cartoons, I used to collect the action figures. I still collect action figures to this day. There is absolutely nothing wrong in doing that, so if anybody comments about that, just don't, please. So walking into this theater today, I was pumped out of my mind. I didn't care if there were any rumors of how things were going on behind the scenes. I didn't care what the opinion was of Zack Snyder. I didn't go in with any of that. But thanks to him, just take this in for a minute, okay? We're getting this movie. Let's talk about it. So Justice League is of course about Batman bringing together the most remarkable individuals on the planet. Wonder Woman, Cyborg, The Flash, Aquaman, and well, himself. And he's trying to do the best that he can to stop an incoming threat in the form of Steppenwolf, who is ready to destroy this world using something very dangerous. This movie is pretty plot simple. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But this is what we're finally getting to see. So, how is this movie? It's good. I just kept you in suspense for like a couple of seconds. It's good. It's not great. It does definitely have problems. There are definitely parts where the film could be improved considerably, but it is a good movie. It's its own good movie. No extended cut needed stuff over here. This film is a ton of fun to watch from start to finish. It has a vibe that's going throughout it, which made it really entertaining. I actually really enjoyed a chunk of this movie a lot. I was cheering in the audience. I was going really loudly at points. May have annoyed the people next to me. I don't care. There were points in this film which I thought the movie was amazing. I thought everybody acted well. Once again, Gal Gadot is one of the scene stealers of this movie. She was excellent once again. Ben Affleck as Batman was fantastic. Ezra Miller as the Flash was the scene stealer of the movie, in my opinion. He was phenomenal in this. People have their own things about whether he's going to be a better Flash than Grant Gustin in the TV show. Personally, you can't really compare the two. They're two very different Barry Allens. He's very good in this though. Jason Momoa as Aquaman actually though has a shot at the scene stealer of this movie. It's either him or the Flash. I'm saying Flash, but it could be Aquaman for a lot of people. He was very entertaining in this movie. He has some very good scenes and some very good dialogue with the other characters. And Ray Fisher as Cyborg was also really great. This is a very good performance, and I really like what they did with Cyborg in this. He was a very interesting character, and I cared. The team coming together was easily one of my favorite aspects of this movie. You gave a damn about this team. You cared that they were in need. You cared that they had to do something in this really desperate situation and things were going really, really wrong. You cared for all of this. You cared for the fact that they have their own internal problems going on and certain decisions are being made. Batman is a little paranoid about everything because of what happened with Superman in that movie earlier. So we do have this kind of Batman here where he's trying to contemplate things as best as he can because he is a human in this world where things are beyond the realm of humanity. Also, one thing I really liked in this movie was the look and feel of it. It felt really great. It felt and looked great. And the vibe I got from it was really positive the whole time. It's not a light movie though. One thing people are probably going to go into this thinking is that, oh, it's a light movie because they wanted to please everyone. It's not light. It's something which Henry Cavill said in an interview recently. He said it's a movie with moments of light in it. And I agree. It is optimistic. It is, though, in terms of tone at points, pretty dark and pretty sinister, but with some very strong moments of light in it, which are very enjoyable, and they got a great reaction from the crowd as well, and people really enjoyed that. The film is also written pretty well. There's a good writing sense over here. Some of the dialogue is written by Joss Whedon, from what I hear. I don't know what he wrote. I don't know what he shot. Maybe we'll get a behind the scenes of that someday. I'm interested in seeing that. His stuff over here, though, there were points where you could tell which was where his dialogue came in. That stuff was actually pretty great. I actually really like what they did with that. Chris Terrio's writing also, you could tell where the transitions at points were taking place, and I really like what they did with some stuff. Now, in terms of characters, you've already heard me say about most of them. There is one I haven't talked about, which is Superman. You know he's in this movie, and I can't talk about him because that's a spoiler. I'm going to wait until the spoiler review, which is going to be on Thursday night or Friday morning, once you guys have seen the film, at least some of you have. We'll talk more about that in detail. Him in this movie, I really liked. In fact, I loved Superman in this movie. I think this is the best they've done with Superman in the DC cinematic universe so far. I think you're going to really like what they've done. Well, we'll see. But I really liked what they did with him in this. Now, I did say in the beginning there are some problems with it, and one of them is the story. If you go on IMDb and if you read the little synopsis that they have given, that's pretty much your movie. Stuff happens in the movie in the middle, which is not related to those 4 lines, but it is still very much following the idea of what the core plot has set up. So the film is very simplistic that way. It doesn't go overly into details about some things. That could be interpreted by some people as DC trying to play it a little safe maybe because of some of the other movies' reception or the more complex storylines. I don't really know. Personally, I think that it could have been a little more than what we actually got. My biggest issue with the movie though is the villain. Steppenwolf in this movie, he comes in as this really great threat and you get the idea that this guy's supposed to be really dangerous, but you don't really give a damn about this guy. He's a pretty forgettable villain. He's pretty bland. He's all CGI'd up and he was really weak. He was easily one of the weakest villains in recent superhero movies. He was pretty disappointing, honestly. I didn't really care so much about him, and I cared that the team was doing stuff to stop him, but he didn't feel as much of a threat as I wanted him to, well, feel. Another minor issue that I had was that at points you could tell the transparency in the CGI. There were definitely moments like that where it got a little distracting, and it was very noticeable. Now, I'm not saying that noticeable CGI hasn't been in other movies, but in this one, when you can clearly see what was added in, it does make it a little distracting at times. That's not to say the movie's bad CGI. It's not bad CGI. There is very good CGI in a lot of the bits of this film. There were a couple of points, though, where it could have been a little better. Now, there is another thing which people might have anything with, and that is the 2-hour runtime. Don't worry about that, because this is a core movie. It has a beginning, it has a middle, it has an end. It's not missing anything. It is a proper movie. If they make an extended cut for this, which they could, it's very possible, it'll probably be just for stuff like a few extra details. Because the core movie's in here. They've got their template ready. So that's great. And I'm glad that that's handled, I don't have to worry so much about, but there's plot details missing. Not such thing. It's very much so a proper story. It's a simple story, but it's there. It's all there. In the end, I would say Justice League is the second best movie in the DC cinematic universe, right behind Wonder Woman. I do think that's a better movie than this. I do really enjoy this movie though. This had great performances, it had great characters, it had a great direction. I think Zack Snyder has a great eye for stuff. This is easily his best movie in a pretty long time. I really enjoyed what he managed to do with this, and Joss Whedon's inputs were also pretty great, whatever they may have been. I'm gonna give Justice League an 8 out of 10. If I can walk out of a film like this saying I want to see it again, that's a good thing. Guys, thank you so much, as always, for watching once again. Look forward to the spoiler review on Thursday night or Friday morning. We'll see. If you like this, as always, please do subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the movies.